Shalom, shalom, beautiful family. Again, this is Pastor Race, and I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife. We are back again, Family Affairs with Pastor Race. We just want to pass this message to say thank you so much. We have seen how we have received our previous videos of our social media, and otherwise, thank you so much for following us. And if you haven't started, please make sure that you do press that button down there. Make sure that you follow us, man. Make sure that you follow us. We are here for you. But as I've said, I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful wife.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
You love that intro. Shalom, family. I think this is another yet beautiful day for us to be sharing some insight. And I'm telling you, I don't want to pass without mentioning that we have a gathering that is on the 22nd. Maybe you can share more on that. I know it's the next coming month.
Yeah. Again, we are in Pretoria, 22 of August. We're in Pretoria. It's a marriage and a relationship summit. We call it the War Room of Marriage. Guys, we are calling everyone, be it you are single or rather maybe you are married, please make sure that you do join us. People have started registering by getting their tickets. We are calling everyone to say, come, let us be together there. It will be such an impactful gathering. We will be having our own speakers also, which is Apostle Neo Retebe. We have Apostle Asanda, myself and my beautiful wife will be there. So please make sure that you get your ticket, you register now, man. Yeah. And let us just be together there, man. I believe that God has some great and also insightful teachings for us and also prayers. That's one thing that we are going to emphasize, man. We are looking at the spiritual commodity when it comes to marriage stuff. So yes, make sure that you do join us. Be there. Don't be told. Just be there. Don't be told.
Yeah, and MC hayi ngiyakutshela wena kuyobe tibuya. But sesiyavela sabe sesivela lapha.
Yeah, siyavusela.
Yeah, sabe sesivela sivusela. I think one thing for sure about this gathering is that it's going to be more on family. It's going to be more on couples. You know, I mean, I've got a complicated relationship. It's also yours.
Yes,
it's also yours.
Yes.
Or open or closed relationship. This is yours, and we are excited, you know, to be sharing this place, Pretoria, and we're looking out. Ukuthi nibe khona, you know, wonke umuntu, and we are here, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, love, and. Sifuna kubuka namhlanje. I think pretty much as we are receiving our inbox, there are many talks that are being mentioned, issues of saying, oh, okay, man, mina bangilobulile kuphela, what is it with me? Am I married? What is happening? You know, and so forth. So today, basically, we just want to bring light, you know, to those who are there asking themselves to say, what is marriage, you know? And how do we perceive it? How do we look at it? And us as believers, how then do we approach it? You know, because I have seen many of as I'm saying, some of the inbox that we ask, some of the comments, man, that we you know, people, men are going through a lot, and it's not maybe a laughing matter, but we are just recognizing to say, hey, some of the comments, you know, they are like that. And some of the comments are people who are serious about life and they are facing predicaments in the structure of marriage. And we believe that God has called us and also gave us a burden concerning the structure of marriage. And we just really want to be there and serve the body of Christ and serve his people, especially in line with this thing. So namhlanje we are going to look at that, man. What is marriage? How do we look at it and properly define some other things and also share some experiences that we are passing through, love, you know? And I can tell you, man, that it's going to be an exciting journey. In fact, it's always exciting when I'm with you. Let me just say that. Yeah. It's always exciting. But it's exciting to be with you, love, you know? But yeah, let's just get into it.
So one thing that comes, you know, in mind is that first of all, yes, above everything else, there is life in marriage. Above everything else, there is life in marriage.
There is life in this thing.
sekuya ngokuthi wena ufuna iphi part
hey ngoba bawugxeka
you
umshado
know, because you can have a very intense life, you can have a, you know, a very challenging life, you can have, you know, a very good life, and you can and it can challenge you for better, so because we're going to enter, and I know you're going to touch a lot more into, you know, something of intense in terms of, you know, what is it in marriage, but I wanted to cover that part, that impili khona, and sekuya ngokuthi wena, how do you want to handle it, and it's very important to actually choose, or you have already chosen the partner. Yeah. If you're choosing, choose ukuthi we are going to live. If you have already chosen, work it out so that you can be able to test the good life of marriage, and very it true. Has a package, and it depends ukuthi when you are entrusted with a package, how do you then, you know, maneuver around that, and how do you keep it growing? Because I always emphasize this, that there are people who are looking up to us. There are children who are looking up to us. There's a community that looks up to this marriage, that we want to see, is it going to work? We want to see, and to have a definition, a one-term definition would be, but one thing for sure, there is life in marriage, and
very true.
Depending ukuthi wena come on man,
you are here
nebunjalo bakho nebunjalo bakho, you know, because no, man. You are a full package.
I'm a package, man. Yeah, but let me just bring this into light, you know, to say when we speak about marriage, you know, we have three components that I will bring into light, and I want people to clearly understand. And you know, I know that I just love this issue of marriage. Okay, so the first thing that we have to look at is that marriage is spiritual.
Okay,
that's the first thing that people should understand. It's a covenant.
Okay,
it's a covenant. And I said this thing passing last time to say, man, in a covenant, you no longer consider your feelings because there are ways now they control your life. You know, and it looked as, you see, some other truths that we are going to discuss, they won't sound like they are the truth, but they are the truth. You know, and looking at it to say, some of us, in fact, our generation, we have neglected the spiritual part of things. Okay. So marriage is spiritual before anything else. It is spiritual. It must be attended spiritual. And those are the things that I speak about, which are basic knowledge that any believer should understand. You get the point? Because it's beyond how we feel. Okay. These are matters of destiny. When we then speak about the spirituality, because clearly we must understand love to say, if life is spiritual, then why is marriage not spiritual? So life is spiritual, therefore we should treat marriage as a spiritual entity first. Before we can come into other places, it must be understood as a spiritual component. Number two, marriage is it's a contract. Let me just put it like that, legally so. That's the second phase of marriage. When we sit down, we sign. Some they go to Home Affairs, they sign down, you know, where we include the issues of community of property, you know, that's the contract part of marriage. It has its own part in this entire sphere of marriage. Then the last thing is the cultural space of marriage, which is lobola.
Okay.
You know, so we can't do it vice versa. We can't do it vice versa. Let me just put it like this. It must work like in a set of saying, first is the spiritual part, second is the lobola, third is the contract. You get the point?
Okay.
And most of us, we have neglected the spiritual part of things. Labanye bahleli baloboliwe, but their marriage is not registered spiritually so. Because you tend to touch other things, you know, physically so, by the things that we do and so forth, which is my concern, my deepest concern. You know, to say the church must be well informed when it comes to the structure of marriage.
Yeah. To say,
guys, let's go back to the issue of the spiritual part of things. Let's teach what is a covenant. What is this covenant of marriage? So, the covenant part was never emphasized. When you say for better or worse,
hey, we do say those.
Then you end up saying until death. My question, my love, I will always say, what is your worst case about me? When you say for better or worse?
The one that I
Yeah,
can't handle.
what is your worst case,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
And how then do you attend? Because it's a practical thing, you know?
But then angisho khona la kufika ngithi but I didn't sign up for this. Yazini, hey, la I'm out. I didn't sign up for this.
But you
I did
agreed.
say in my vows.
Yeah, the signing part, I understand it. Maybe it was not there on the contract.
Yeah.
But you did agree. You said it.
Yeah.
And then a covenant was established on the altar.
Sure.
That's why families are there. You are standing between God and you're standing upon humanity. Then you declare these things. I can tell you with full assurance to say what you have declared on the altar is something that will follow you for the rest of your life. Your words were locked. You were not just speaking words. You were creating a life. You were building your own world that you're going to live in.
As you're speaking about that, so if I, for instance, God forbid, if I then move into another marriage, would I still be tied up to those words? Would I still be tied up to the spirituality, component of Apostle Race?
The issue about the spiritual part of things is that it's a world. It exists.
Okay.
In fact, it's more existing than the world that we are at.
Okay.
So every man becomes a puppet in this earthly realm. In fact, the earthly realm, it's called a baby that is born by the spiritual realm. So when I say we are all puppets in the hands of those who are controlling the spirit world, then what I mean is that that place, it's a world on its own. There are things that you cannot tamper with. Words are so real in the spirit realm. And must say athandaza sendan. Apart, prayers are also in segments. That there are prayers that I'm doing with God intimacy wise, but there are prayers where I'm addressing issues. How then am I addressing issues? You get the point? That's why you find issues that are being said to say the children of the darkness are more wiser than the children of light. Why? It's because we have been matured to a place where we understand spirituality. You get the point? Spirituality is not Christianity. Christianity is spiritual, but spirituality is not Christianity.
Okay.
And then either you're in the dark side or you're in the light, still you're spiritual. You get the point? Because life originates from that world. So there's nothing in this world. I'm telling you, there's nothing that is coincident. Everything it's intentionally planned by the intelligence of the spirit.
Sure.
And it's a danger for you to live life as if things are coming casually. I get in this thing.
The challenges I'm facing, especially in marriage, because I'm learning that I need to be very, cautious of the words that I speak, especially when I communicate with you, I communicate with my surroundings, because they can either trap me for worse. They can either, trap me in terms of benefiting me. But at times we throwing words without knowing ukuthi those words ayasebenza, they are living, and those words, they can impact, sometimes we would be saying things into, especially in a journey where we disagree, and then you're threatening.
You throw out words.
Yes,
man.
and then I'm threatening to go back home and all those things, and it's as if I'm creating this environment. Yogoguti, anytime these words are existing, I will divorce you.
Those words, man. In those moments, you know what we are doing? We are aborting certain destinies. When we speak like that, I'll just put an example by a child. That whenever your child does something bad, you mention these things and so forth. We am jailer, like a simple thing, man. Usually say this thing at church. You say, man, they will ask you, man, how is Busa? Now by you're just bubbly, you're laughing. Your Busa is growing, man. Yeah, okay. You're planting something. You have spoken words that they become a reality, because when you speak words, an atmosphere is ready to capture that thing. It becomes pregnant by the words. And in due time, in due season, it shall give birth. At the age of 16, we start to see the thief in that young man. What has happened? You are planting these things. But it's peer pressure. It is the influence of what? No. There's no influence of what here. You were creating a world that this child should live on. So there are words that are hanging on top of our heads that were spoken in moments of anger. So what I'm trying to say is that each and every time we should view marriage like that. Sithandazile for this institution.
Yeah.
awukho angwadi angisengawubona imshado lebathi imshado umfundisi angakabanga khona why simfuna umfundisi
sure the blessings
why simfuna umfundisi evenza umfundisi phela uyafunakala ufile ufuna umfundisi umuntu usindisiwe akasindiswa makatoshada athi I do ufuna ini umfundisi why ufuna umfundisi why don't you just call anybody casual no You get the point? It's because you understand the value, you understand the spiritual power that this man holds. So when he declares a blessing upon your life, because the blessing is a spiritual empowerment, you cannot see it, it's not tangible, but it produces the results that are tangible. So I'm trying to say, I'm calling people to say, let us go back there, man.
Okay.
Let us go back there. Before we attend the contract part, before we attend the Lobola session, let's first attend the spiritual part of things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to advocate for. On marriages, to men, guys, let's go back there.
So I could be facing issues of spirituality in my marriage, spiritual issues, because those are the things that I think, we're looking forward for the 22nd of August to have a deep understanding ukuthi kahle the battles that I'm fighting ngathi ngoba sometimes as a reokhele yabona lokuthi namhlanje ayiphelile ngithi I know we have conquered. Comes the second month we going back to the same thing as if ngathi nje there's a track of list of things that I need to go through and ngifuna kuba nale assurance ukuthi sengidilile nginayo right settled yabona lento leyo. Now how do I come back to have that confidence in me yokuthi I have an understanding. Yes, I'm praying. Uyabona futhi thina yabona abafati ngiyakuthandaza njengabafati, especially when we are praying for you. Sometimes we pray sinithandazela out of it in pieces sinibuyise because of things that are going on.
Lokunye Pastor Lee, what I'm saying is that I know that nobody gets married to get divorced.
Yeah.
Let me just say that with understanding to say I know. Understand that nobody gets married to get divorced. And this is the other thing that people should understand. I'm not saying everyone will just live happily ever after. That's not what I'm saying. But we are destined for that.
Okay.
Some they will divorce and die, God forbid. Some they're not, But I'm just speaking really on these issues. You get the point. But what I want to emphasize that there are two ways that I will place, and people must understand. There are things that we call battles, and there's something that we call the war.
Okay.
They are not the same. Okay. When we are facing a battle, it is in a small scale. Let me just put it like that so that someone can understand. Battle maybe, let me say, put it in a scale of time. You're facing it for a year. But there's something that is called a war that can take 3 years. It's a war. It's a war. And when God speaks about the issues, or when Paul speaks about the issues of spiritual battles and the warfare of believers, it's about standing. It's about standing. At the end of the day, it's all about that. It's about standing. And the standing there is not just literal standing. It's standing in your convictions, stand in your faith.
Yeah.
Stand in the convictions that you have.
Your standing point.
You say, so uma lenvo gugulwa. That's why it's not a fight, it's a wrestle. A wrestle, you know what happens? When you enter in that place, in that battlefield, in that battlefield, when they say you are wrestling, when somebody feels is defeated, he must step out.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yeah.
You decide on your own to tap out.
Okay.
Let me just repeat that. You decide on your own to tap out. To say, I feel defeated.
I call it quits. It's okay now.
That's why they can do whatever, man. When we are in a wrestling place, when they count 1, 2, on the third time when you lift up your hand, it says we are continuing. It means you still have power. It means you can still continue. You get the point. So I'm trying to say some of the matters that or issues that we are facing, we must then understand those issues to say, oh, I'm facing a battle, I'm in a war here, and all those things, as I'm saying, to say they are spiritual. Because number one, these battles, they originate from that place.
Okay.
Number two, I'm not saying there are no battles in a contract. They are. And there are also battles, Batandegai, in the Lobola issue. Last sikhuluma khona ukuthi maketala uyahlupha. Hayi wakakho kodwa.
Angeke wadi phela ukho kitchen.
So all I'm trying to say is that sesivile sikhuluma sithi bomakoti bomaketala bayahlupha sesivile ukuthi hayi man we are getting married in community of property is not a good decision. Some they say I'm not in there, man. I'm not a lawyer by profession, you know, but we are acquainted by information and all those things, you know. But there are those battles. Don't do it. Yeah. This still belongs to you. This is mine. Don't do it. You get the point. So that your family will be secured. So what we have heard all those things. You get the point. But we have to go back there to the initiator, the source of this institution called marriage, and the source is God.
Yeah.
Genesis 2:24. A man shall leave his family and also tie to what? To his wife. And you know, why should the man? Why should the man? We will discuss those issues someday. but I'm saying the creator, the source, the initiator of the institution of marriage is God. Is a spirit. So we cannot take that away from this institution.
Yeah.
Our weight in the spirit, it will also bring weight to our marriage life. Yeah, but and look at this thing. The spiritual world, it's also it's not a casual place.
Okay.
Let me just put that to say it's not a casual place. It's a very legal world. To say umthetho uyawati noma wati uyasebenza nje. Yeah. You have seen the board or you didn't see the board because you were busy on your phone. If it says 80 and you were on 100, when the traffic cop says here stop, you will stop. They will give you a ticket.
Yeah.
Even if you cry literal tears, I did not know. We don't care.
Yeah.
You get the
laws.
point. There are laws that are governing that world.
Okay.
So there's certain laws that we have to understand about this marriage part of things that are governing the institution of marriage. And these laws are spiritual laws.
Okay.
And these are some of the things that I say on the 22nd. Let me not just speak about them here. On the 22nd, people are going to understand the laws that govern this institution of marriage, man.
Yeah.
But I'm just bringing light to say we have to see these three places: spiritual, amalobol, and then the contract.
And then we're also contending for umshado that is godly, man. And nowadays it's kuningi that is going on. I mean, it's all about appearances, mara mawufika endlini, things are people are living in separate ways, and we feel ukuthi
it's hard, man, to tell people that I'm happily married. Mina nginato tinkinga baby mara ayidakho nami.
Yeah.
Temshado dona ngithi.
And this also brings us into the conviction, you know, and the decision that we are making when we are, you know, from singlehood into marriage. Ukuthi, whatever that you are deciding, you need to abide by it, stand by it. There are certain, you know, vows that you spoke about, that you said uto wenda loguti, and you would be a man enough to do that. And basengubona, you are changing from that. You know, whether it's a woman or a man in marriage, it confuses. Ngathi singema in our words and really, you know, stick by them, because it does affect ngoba sigcine sesikhuluma ukuthi now you've changed. You're no longer the man, you know, and I end up, you know, classifying you and comparing you to other marriages out there and to other men out there. Ngazuthi mina, my intention is to belittle you, but it is all coming from, this is what you said you are going to, you know, come into terms with when we are getting together. But along the way, we are growing. Again, I understand that, you know, as we are married with years, we are growing. However, there are certain things that we have agreed with. This is a no-go area. Because as a woman, I have boundaries, and you need to know about them. As a man, you have boundaries. You need to know about them. We're not fighting, but this is what I'm sharing, and I'm opening up to you. But if you pass that area, I don't subscribe by this portion. You know, we can speak about religion, you know, certain beliefs and all of that. But I long for, you know, for a nation, for a couple that is going to stand saying, I understand where you are coming from and I want to support you. I understand your belief and I want to support you, you know, and we incorporate that together, and we live to make it work. The moment we start to separate I'm telling you, we even in the spiritual world, we will have, enemies that are going to fight us. We will have, I'm a family person. We will have that even seeing it into, into the next coming generation, affecting it. That's why today we are seeing a lot of people who are separate, and as women we stand velocity, cry, to go out, have fun, and all of that because city see a breather. But it's because of those boundaries let's now in our family. And I want to know from your perspective, how do we go back to that? Not just to be seen together and bonana, but to have that, you respect me enough in my position. I respect you, but respect saying, I don't like this, and can we please leave it? Or I don't like the way siphila ngakhona. How can we, work together instead of being reactive all the time? Mangiti, loku na loku vele storm and yeah, lelo
No,
daba
I'm
vele,
listening. I'm listening to you very, very careful. And you know. A lot of girls out there, they are anticipating for their wedding day.
Okay.
But they haven't imagined, they are not anticipating for their marriage life.
All right.
I'm saying this thing slowly so that they can understand me. To say a wedding day and a marriage life, they are two different things. We've invested so much time in the wedding day than on the marriage life. That's why when we face such things, they tend to shake us in our marriages. But the Bible says, whatsoever that you bound on earth, it shall be bound in heaven. That's a law. It's a system. You don't change that. You bind things here, they will be bound in heaven. One of the things that we have done as a nation of South Africa, you ladies, no mani atandaza, no mani ndan, you have contaminated the atmosphere of marriage.
How so?
Men are dogs.
Ooh.
Men are dogs. You are not just speaking words, but you are planting this thing in the atmosphere. We are breeding a generation of men that are going to be dogs, even if they did not desire to be dogs. Why? Because there are words that were spoken.
Okay.
And those words now, they tend to manifest. Because anything that you say shall manifest. The book of John, the word became flesh. The word has got power to manifest. So words have got power to manifest in this world. You get the point? We then have to culture our ladies in how they should speak, number one.
Okay.
We have to change the culture. The status quo must change. What happened to you calling me a king? Biblical, because that's it. That's why being addressed this thing even last time to say, "Mina I'm a king. Noma ngabe there's something wrong, you don't come to me with disrespect."
Okay, I can respect you. I want to go back a little bit. I am respecting you, but you are not behaving as a king. What should I then do? Because manje, mina, I see you as a king. I treat you as a king. Then there is a reason behind why they are calling them what they are calling. And in that perspective, when we are saying women should then change and see men as king, then what should drive that change, especially in men? Because manje, ayisukele emoyeni, ayisukeli anywhere else. There is something that has happened. There is, and this is now I'm bringing this in terms of saying we have seen what has been happening, and we don't have a word for it. Then we can associate it with such words, men are dog and all of that. But how do we then reverse that? Because it can't just say we see you as king. Something must happen within the men, a sphere that should bring back to say, no, we were mistaken. We are seeing change in them. We are seeing this and that. Because from the beginning, as word, whatever that we say, words, they have a way of staying. And what we see from that, from those words, asasibone lokhu lesikubona ngemehlo bese sesithi no, we were mistaken. Men have changed, and who is shaping men at this point in time that is going to also bring that perspective? Because sizozilungisa thina, as we always do, put makeup, put all that for you, but who is doing that to you so that we can see something different?
Maybe in that line, yes, there's no place maybe where men are speaking, where men are taken care of. But I can clap hands to say we are seeing those things are changing You get the point. Things are literally changing. There are groups of men where men are being built, where conferences about men. These things, we did not see them for some time in our nation. But now we're in a better position because we do see such a thing. You get the point. But what I'm trying to say is that labo mama leba kuca ngamadolo, labo make bemthandazo, nini lenthandazile, uyabona, nikhulumile lokho because of hurt, because of failures and all that. And that's what I'm trying to fix. To say, in those moments of anger, know that when you speak something, you are tampering with the destiny of a man.
Okay.
So even your tongue must then be shaped very well so that you know how to speak when you speak about these institutions.
Okay.
You get the point. That's why it's all spiritual. All these things, they fall under the spiritual part of covenant. To say, kunemagama lo wakhuluma. There are ways that you have said. You get the point. There are ways that you have said. So in these ways that you have said, you also signed a contract. Wavuma yakubophi contract. You get the point. Number 3, you also went to my family. What's when you don't hands? Na ngasho njalo ngathi ngidokuthanza ngiyenguhluphe ngidokunakekela ngidowenda konke lokhu nalokhu phakade la ye wena sanibita ngabo baby baby but it's fine. All I'm saying this is marriage life. This is marriage life. One thing that I believe that has to be fixed, it's the issue of saying umshado ufunza so ungenile ku. No, people who are ahead of us must teach us. Have mentors before you enter in the structure. Have people that are going to guide you. Ngoba anifuni kufunziseke, that's the thing. Yabona ni push ama feeling ngiyamthanda. Ye wena.
So bona phambili phela kuyashesha.
Kunebantu lebathanze before wena. They know this love thing. You know, let me just share this thing, man. And mine ngigile ngalahlwa embileni.
Oh shame, sorry.
Yeah, but and you know what I did? You know what I did? When I knew this relationship, mfundisi bese ngimtshele vele hey mfundisi ndawushada Jehovah asindule lapha. But this is what I did. I remember vividly. This is what I did, man. I went to pray.
Okay.
Yeah. Umbuto ngathi njani yabona? When I you run for counseling, it's not wrong. There's a time for counseling. But the first thing where I went to is pray. You know why? Because as believers, we were praying for this thing. Siyashada.
And
we are getting married, man.
Shame.
So we are praying for each other. Do you get that thing? Then there are things that we have bound in our prayers. I understand in this thing. I went there to untie myself. I went there by far by force. Ngati khanda, ngati keeper.
Yeah.
I get in this thing. Ngalungise magama am.
Yeah.
I see this
important.
thing. I see this thing. So same implies when I met you, we started the 5 days of prayer. And it was not to say Satan as a lumshado and so forth. Do you understand? Yes. But why those things, man? It's because we are praying for these things. We are creating a reality for ourselves.
Oh, hold on. Mara uyakwazi usukulahla bekutoba lula ngoba ngisho bestos basiceda lapha emthalazweni ngiyabona hayi la kuhlangana. Bese ngithi the Lord is
Why? The Lord has said. Men of God with the Lord has said.
Yeah, no, bengiyokulahla lula lapha.
But what I'm trying to say is that there's a place where these things where birth originated.
I hear you.
Where you are being divorced now. Maybe you have finalized the divorce, man. Maybe you are out now, man. I plead with you. Go and untie yourself from things that you have said there. Because that place called the spiritual world, it's so real. You get the point. Hamboti kanka. Yo, or like kinyakana li, but again, kilin swiking, kinyakana li, like nagnya ko ibulela ka speed. Wawan or like but babang but no kwishish. Like nila ko ivula is changani. So van to see someone. Go back to that place of prayer on your knees. Untie yourself. You get the point?
Yeah.
Because that's where all these things originated.
Yeah.
On the altar. Where you have spoken these words. So this is the danger. You are divorced. You don't do that. And you are delivering yourself when you do that. It's a system of deliverance. You are delivering yourself from that. That's why it goes back to the issues of sexual impurity. When you are not pure, You get the point. You are tying yourself with certain spirits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dive into that. But what I'm saying is that if you have decided you are out on that marriage, so divorcing or please go and pray and divorce yourself even there in the spirit. Why? It will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will no longer hang on your head, or rather maybe here on your forehead. Sure. Because as spiritual people, we can see those things, we can sense those things. So you must have a system of dealing with those things. Which one of them is through the system of prayer? When you courtship for some time and things did not work out, and
what I'm taking out from this is the fact that when you enter into a new relationship, into a new marriage, there's no weight in you. There's no pressure. Hey, now I'm too cautious about, I don't want to make this, because this is a new person and I'll align according to your past experience. Yes, it's good for learning, but remember that so raise a high expectation to this new person because of the hurts, because of, the struggles and the battles that you have. But ungena fresh, I am no longer tied with words that I shared.
Yeah,
yes,
because those words, they follow up in a reality.
Some of the things and the decisions that we make, it's because of the hardship that we are facing in our marriage. Hey, you have to have been struggling with this, and I know myself, I understand, because I end up losing myself in marriage because I'm battling with this partner. And feeling as I need my own space. As you are better when you are alone. But when you move forward, there is life. And I'm not talking about singlehood. I'm talking about moving forward into a new relationship and into a new marriage where you see I was not recognized. I was not, appreciated, whether you're a woman or a man. But now you feel a sense of belonging. You feel, this journey is worth taking. And we learn to embrace that, as you said, through prayer and relieving yourself from words that were tying you.
Yeah, maybe in that line, it's when then you attend my counseling, where you can regain your self-worth. Where you can regain your confidence, where they can fix you, or rather maybe help you understand in your mind that you are not the problem. Because many people who are divorced, they think that they were the problem. Sometimes you are not the one who was the problem. And I want to say that with the loudest voice, to say, man, you are not the problem. And man, when I preached this someone, I literally cried also to say, these spiritual things, man, these bloodline patterns, when they destroy your life, when they come and hit you, you think that maybe you are a problem. You are not intelligent. You are not as beautiful as you thought. You are not cut out for this thing called marriage. And I'm here to tell the viewers to say, man, you are not a problem. There's something spiritual that was done over your life that needs to be undone. Sure. Like we are here to help those individuals. We are here. And then there's you, Pastor Lee, where you can talk to them mentally, so to say, man, let's help you. Man, you are a better woman.
Sure.
You're a great man. Man, you are building them mentally. You get the point. But I'm telling you to say, you can stand mental, but spiritual, these things can pull you back. So, I'm here to say, let's fix you spiritual.
Okay.
And then when you say, let's fix you mental, we need those things. We combine. And those are the things that will be but as for Kulumaka cool, because on the 22nd, these are the issues that we'll be dealing with. So when somebody attend us, we are telling you that our right ear is a spiritual ear. Then our left ear is the one that listens to your cries, so that we can deal with you mentally. So that's why I'm here to say, by fire, by force, Baba.
Yeah.
We let you kutswana. Let me moya. We are here. We are balancing that setup. So that's why I'm saying you need these things, man.
Yeah.
People need these things. Give yourself time, man. It's because you are dying there in your room because of there's no one who gives you counsel.
Yeah.
There's no one who prays for you.
Sure.
Yeah, but so we need those people, man, in our life. That's why we say look at the marriage part in 3 formats. The spiritual part, which I believe that I've emphasized it more, and then the issue of lobol.
Yeah, I think before we get to that, I wanted to highlight one of the other things that I wanted to bring into attention, and what I want to cover is how to build an empire, how to build a legacy in marriage, because that has also been a challenge. ngihleli mara ngathi ngidawuhamba mase divorce ugcine ungasakhanga you know a
Mafana nokuthi
a brighter future ungasakhanga
angeke be millionaire ngoba ngitofa kusasa emfotofa
phela there are certain things ubunga ukuthi yabona manje I am struggling to invest you know with
Utojoba.
you because you've got some certain limitation and I want to cover that and you know just to bring light in terms of
but I mean I'm not going anywhere, love. Like be sure ngami.
angifuni base siyakhile bese so
I'm
yabaleka
a good investment, man. I'm not going anywhere, love. I'm with you, man.
but
With you.
yeah just to touch on that ukuthi as you know you are stronger when you are two yes you know you can make it who you want but you're more stronger and more likely
Say it like direct to me to say I'm strong when I'm with you, Ray.
yatin
but you're touching on a very, 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 very important thing because that's one person who say I'm in marriage, but I can't do this to this extent because I'm afraid of this.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
the point. All I can say is that, man, we have all taken that risk.
yeah
We have all taken that step. And it's because we singena la sithi asiphumi ungasithena lapha until death do us apart. Yebo lento leyo. So we look at it like that. Don't be afraid, man. Just jump, do that thing, do it together with your wife. It's beautiful, man, when we do it together. It's so nice. Gakhudlwana nje nami mangenda lenvo now. You know, like you know how to us men love is. To us, it's not nice to be maybe again. It's nice to be loved. I mean, again, I find fulfillment when I'm loving.
oh okay
But you get that? Let me just say it like nicely so that you can hear it.
Okay.
I find fulfillment when I'm loving you.
all right I don't have to love you
Yeah,
Is that
no.
what you're saying?
My love is enough.
Okay.
I find fulfillment. Yo, man, I find fulfillment logo.
You know what
That's
I
why
do?
we're excited, mangqoma yabona. When mangushela and then uyangifaka that feeling, man. Yo,
Okay.
it's because like you know, like ngiva ngazuthi the nicest thing is to give you my love.
right
Oh,
and you know what I do with your love
Oh, kapora so. No, ngiva mwana ingcela
Man,
phela.
you know what I do with your love? You know, as a strategic woman, and I'm more into building and making us work. And in terms of ama finances and how to live for tomorrow and nakusasa nalabanye is to use that love. Yabo, bese ngiyayipackage into different places so that we'll be able to kusasa we have a life.
Yeah, which it's Proverbs 31. Futhi no, yathi futhi nina bafana. Yathi kahle awuthi nginitshele mina ngoba you know I'm not afraid to tell. Awuthi nginitshele. Lento yokuthi associate na Proverbs 31. Nibese ningakamfunzi ngoba everyone now is a Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay.
You're not a Proverbs 31 woman because you can pray. No, that's another component of a Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay.
But a Proverbs 31 woman is a woman that builds.
Make sure that's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
manje
explain.
lengikhulumela kona phela ukuthi this is one thing that we are fighting today. Ukuthi nini building ithatha ngathi it's independent.
That is why I am saying I'm taking your love and I'm receiving it. And out of that love, I am giving a platform to build. Angisho, you are a king. I advise. And out of that, we build relationships from other, empires and palaces. How do we make sure we are always in the 7 years of fruitfulness, 7 years of
which
abundance and all of that, and we are flourishing in season, out of season. And as a wise woman, you don't just look only at you are available as a king, but we look at how do we store up so that when famine comes, when challenges come, when all of those uncertainties, because sometimes emshado kunolokunye lokuvela ungakwati ukuthi how do you tackle it, we survive.
If you guys into hlangana nikhulume lokho, I mean I can promote my women conference. My problem with those issues nina ukuthi manihlangene khuluma ngaletinye tika lapha yana.
Usungekho.
Ngisuke ngeke ngithi siyavela amahlebedi. Ngani nemfati wakho uyambona makabi endlini. Ukani lona ngazi bamtshela akangidivorce. Long as bamtshela ukuthi akangidivorce, bakutshela ukuthi wena you're a man, you're a great woman. Your man is intimidated. I'm not intimidated by you, man. In fact, uphumela kimi la. How can I be intimidated by that? You get the point, but I'm not there, man. I'm just want to touch the issue of lobola, as we've said, to say it's this one depends on culture, because culture is a way of living, which include beliefs, how people dress, speak, and all those things, you know. And it's not a subject that I can touch much on it, but lobola is very much important. Labanye bake babuta why ba umlobole nana, it's biblical, man. Bamsebenzela umfati lapha, Rachel, all those things, you know, it's a biblical thing. In fact, even Christ redeemed us as a church. So nami nje wena ngulobolile yabo lento le and kumcoko ngiyakusho lokuthi asisebenzele kusishaya iphelele.
Okay.
Yeah, asishaya iphelele. It's not about the pride yami indvodza, but it's also about the pride of the woman. We just have to do that. Wena nje netingcondo takho ukuthi angifuni kulobola mina phuma lapho. Ngeke uphuma. But again, it's a subject that we can also discuss to say how then inceka inamali yokulobola senda njani. Uyabona, that's a family matter. Uyabona, ayisifake kakhulu thina. It's a family matter. But this is the thing that I want to touch based on that culture thing. To say we've got a lot of men of God today, they just want to get married. You're young, you want to get married, but into like bambile white wedding. Let me just say this. White wedding is not a standard of marriage, it's a cultural thing. It's not a biblical thing, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. So to not have money for the white wedding, it's not much of a problem if your partner understands that. Unless your partner does not.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, we are wasting man. No, people are not wasting man. We cannot say they are wasting man. If they want to do it, continue doing it. But we must understand the truth of the man. That's not the standard. Yeah. Lobola, come, let's bless you. Go and stay with your wife. That's your wife. That's us. We felt like doing that thing. We felt it is good. We are not pressured because we end up getting into our marriage life with debts. Asad nokuthi siyodlana. Imali phelele to a white wedding.
We're pleasing phela vela ama-guest ethu.
You get the point. So what I'm saying is that the church must then emphasize that issue. To say white wedding is not marriage. It's a cultural thing. Buya wena lobola, pay your lobola, and then buya, let's bless you at church. Go and stay with your wife.
But sometimes I think we would see, you know, abanye, especially men, I don't understand, and maybe you can bring a perspective into this. You know, can stay with me. Some are not even engaged for quite some time. I think even a girlfriend for scarce seats. You've got the money, you've got everything, and yeah, and uyabona lo munye can go as far as washing and cooking, and it will feel like yes Bella, this is marriage. Saying attend nama funerals
when they land lo.
So lokho phela ngiphesu indzaba yemshado phela.
You are so wrong. That's so wrong. Know your veil, know your worth, man.
If angaveli isho ukuthi ngihambe ngiyothola la tangishada noma
ngaswini. You are tied to your family, not to me only.
Yeah.
Mina now says tied because it's shadid. Girlfriend and boyfriend, you're not tied to that person. Yeban.
But
so they can waste your life just for you.
To try and really explain what I really
love,
need.
Let me tell you
or
something.
should I just wait 10 years, Baba?
Love, let me tell you something. Every person in this world has a standard. Let no man fool you.
10 years, solo standards like
let me just say this. So even a standard. Every man in this world has a standard.
Okay.
Set your standard as a lady. No, ungazuve umuntu athi go high. Lamborghini is higher than a Polo. But Lamborghini is being bought. Even Polo is being bought. It's a difference. It's a standard. So there's no man who doesn't have a standard. The problem with having a standard in Mundas, yeah, when you be a standard, on a standard 9, it's like a silog lesagako. But you have so as a lady have standards. Have standards. Unga being loose skirt when a man, loose lady. No, have standards, man. You know us men we have got standard. We are calculative. We have standards that we have set. But
it hurts me, and I'm speaking this out of love. I am with you for 5-10 years. Then uthi nedi na uphuma. Awuhlali na 3 months. Nedi 3 months.
Standard.
For 10 years, so long, there is no work, there's nothing. Lesingayisebenda la silungise mhlambe
like for 10 years. Why 10 years? Yeah, in a biblical setup, we don't even have to have those issues. We must lay a good background when it comes to dating. And abantu fanele bathi dating is not inzabe engagement. It's get to know each other. Guys, we must clear. That's why it's been. We are taking the world standard into the church.
Okay.
And that's why things are so damaged like this. Can I get to know you? Can we go out for lunch? Get to know you. When I saw we la to see la go status. Tungisa. So fucking netingoma.
Oh, matron of honor.
So fucking netingoma. For good reason. I just want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. We then must understand those things. That's why there's a way that we use biblical to say courtship. Says oh, okay, this is what is happening. And this is what we are pushing. So all those things, we still need classes for this thing. And these are basic things.
That's why we're going to attend.
Is too much on revelation.
Yeah.
And we have left the elementary teachings. Let's go back to the elementary teachings. Let's teach people. Let's not assume that people know. People don't know. I'm at 2000, they don't know. 2000 lectures in a girlfriend. Like Sonwin.
Next week, introduce
next week, now this one is my girlfriend. And the standard of a girlfriend and a boyfriend is the standard of saying we must end up in bed, which is sexual impurity. We must end up there. That's why teenage prayer says you see even the glory of God.
Anyway,
those are things that we're search and deal as a Church of Christ now. You get the point. That's why when you are given these things as a pastor, the church must do justice in terms of the biblical standard of dating and of marriage. Ngoba into lekhona nifunza emhlabeni ngoba nabo social media ngithi imagine when a believer actually ukuthi my role model it's Jay-Z and Beyonce in their marriage. Yo uyabona ukuthi la sinenkinga lesidia. How did you find yourself there? How did you find yourself there? This is the thing. You are the result of the pulpit. You were not taught these things. Yeah. So that's number one about the church. Number two, kulende malobol bafat asibiyeleni la kuyongena talukade emakhaya. Those grand old those old ladies. Those aunties lebangena ngale chathulo tia bahlale phansi and give you counsel as a woman. But nathi simadoda sibiyeleni emkhandla siyohlala phansi sifundiswe letinye izinto. And I want people to understand me very well, because they will say, Pastor Reis, you are promoting rituals. I'm not promoting rituals. I'm promoting culture.
Hey.
There are things that you will learn. Culture. Mina ngingimahlalela ngiyahlonishwa Nkosi yami. Nina nibafati banamuhla kudla kwakhona yadi. I'm saying this thing. I'm not saying in a bad way. It's okay. My marriage, we do things like this, not a problem. But there are men in their culture that we are phakela kudla. Ayikuthi umuntu ethi phakela. Wena ngisave yourself. Uzokhuluma ngesinye. No, serve yourself.
I'm giving you the liberty.
Which liberty? You know me and how I eat. You get the point. So I'm saying this thing cultural to say there are other issues that they need to go back and be touched cultural.
I cannot wait for the summit. I cannot wait for them. I'm telling you.
A married woman, we this new what we call them what me tight. Ties or leggings, what? I'm going to a gym. I'm going to a gym. A married woman going like that to a gym. Oh, but turn the guy. That thing mean don't attempt it, my love. Don't attempt it. Don't attempt it. It's something that we know that married women, when we grew up, they were like this. And I'm not saying don't be modern or modest. You can be. Be in a classical way, man. Not everyone wants to see all these interior things. Damn. Sena adopt.
Hold on, but there's a dress code for every place and event.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wear that thing there when I'm with you, man. Wear that thing, when I'm with you. When I'm just there, man, like I want to be cultivated, Okay. I want my mind to be stimulated. Wear that thing, man. Then when you go around stimulating every man where you meet, with your cleavage, with your what. No. These things, they need to be rebuked. Okay. Biblically, in church, also in a lobola setup, you must be told the truth. And bafat bethu Nkosi yami. And qoka kahle man nathi besithandwa sami ngibona nami usithandwa sami ngaso sithandwa sawo wonke umuntu ngathi uyathengisa. Two bobla, five bobla, shilling la. Everything is
Too deep.
outside. Yeah, men must have self-control. When that thing, wearing like that, it shows that you don't have self-control or self-respect. If you want self-control from me, have self-respect for yourself.
I hear you.
Yeah. So these are the things. No, we are women of now, women of the cities.
And it's happening. And I think we are seeing what time and what generation we are in. So we need summits, we need conferences, we need
Teachings.
we need time to reinstill things that we're covering, especially Masbuga the old time, but without taking them away. You're moving them out of what is happening in the now. But I'm not there. I think as we're about to conclude, because there is a lot of things that needs to be covered in what you've just said to try and unpack it for us to understand in this generation, in the generation to come. What's coming next is vele we allow nakedness and all of that, and at what point and where, and nguphi la tolerate khona, nguphi la singa-tolerate khona. And teachings,
okay,
and teachings are going to bring light. Ngoba
Yes.
we have it. We have been taught sihlalile nabo mage, and there are things that we can take, there are things that we can sift out and say, I can take this and it makes sense and I'll leave, and this I'm not taking. Nakhona lapho ukuthi how do you balance that? Some of the things they are saying fanele ukuthi thathe and embrace them. Some of the things that they are saying ngoba lokunye kwathi khona kuthiwa TB10 athi khiphela ngaphandle and all of those things, and uthi uyabuka le TB lo utiphethe mhlambe they are they are causing you so much pain, no matter they are killing you inside, or you end up being depressed ngaleto TB and all of that. How do you move and who do you talk to so that you connect pillar? Because remember I said when we're coming into family, when we're coming to marriage, we have to live. And we are tied, we see trap ukuthi hey lo mfatisho sifanele angagcoki ini. We need to live and we need to understand each other and serve one another, those things. And I'm looking forward for such summits and such sessions where we're going to be talking about this thing, not just talking only, but getting ukufunza that is not going to be just for now phela, but that's going to also clear us ukuthi where is this coming from, why are you at that standpoint, why are you advocating for such, and what benefit does it bring?
Well, and in that line, that's why today in our time there's a saying that says this one is a wife material.
Okay.
And according to me and according to scripture, every lady was supposed to grow to be a wife material. And growing is not by age, it's by knowledge capacity. Let me repeat that. Growing is not by age, it's by knowledge capacity. So when we say this one is a wife material, what we mean is that there's a level of growth that we have spotted, or rather maybe we have seen, that puts her in a different cadre or category than the other ladies out there.
Okay.
So it means then it is our duty as a church, as families, to then teach our kids concerning the structure of marriage. The mind of a man, I'm just going to put like this. It's just like when you have written a test, they went to mark it, maybe you got 97. The first thing that you're going to look is not the 97.
Yes,
it's the 3 that we have wronged. So we are not supposed to look at the wrongs that we have seen in the line of marriage, but we also have to embrace the good things that we see and that have been taught unto us. So what I think we have lost also is to embrace what we have been taught.
Okay.
And revelation is progressively so. While it is progressive, we must not lose the essence of the truth. So our generation has to come into that light. And I still advocate to say we are doing great as a generation. We are putting back the pieces. That's the difficult thing to say. We are putting back the pieces as a generation. And this is why we are advocating to say, let this truth be out there.
Sure.
Let this truth be out there. So we conclude that in all these matters, as we were saying, to say, let's look at this thing in 3 places.
Yeah.
Spiritually, culturally, and also the contract part of things, which we believe that God will grant us grace to have a lawyer and discuss these issues, you know. We say, let's attend to the spiritual part of things. Yeah. I emphasize it more. And let's not neglect the cultural part of things. Because as I was saying, to say rituals, it's a repeated act. It can be good, it can be evil. There are other rituals that you don't partake into as a believer when it comes to the cultural things that they are doing. You get the point? But ekubeni kuloko kunetinto longatifundza khona laphayana ngoba umshado can never be outside the context of a culture. Yabona? Noma siyafuna noma sifuna. That's why there must be lobola. Labanye abasinawo malobola njengemangisi nanani. Yabona? But they've got their own way of dealing with things. That's why I said it's cultural. Yabona? So when it happens, when it started here, it goes to that level. Yabona? So meaning it's looking lokufanele sibiyele kuko. Let's not try to change the truth. Okay. Biblical to accommodate the world. It was never like this in the beginning. It was never like this. Namhlanje we have succumbed to a lot of things. I'm not saying something they are wrong, yabona, but in a school abashelo simathathu ayinking. Namhlanje as a pastor you can do a tattoo. What are you doing? I'm accommodating the 2000s. Yabona? Today you can wear the way you want. We are going to a time maybe where people are going to wear mini skirts here in South Africa. Because it's why I'm accommodating the generation.
In church.
Yeah, in church. I'm accommodating this generation that has come. They believe that this is the truth. So in closure, we are saying this is a sacred thing. Let's treat it as sacred as it is. Let's go back and see it by the perspective of God. So we are still calling people. 22nd of August. We haven't touched anything here. We are just scratching on the surface. But on the 22nd of August, let's meet in Pretoria. We are anticipating to see you there. Please get your ticket and follow us on our social. Raymond Mahlalela, Letile Mahlalela. That's where we are. This is your pastor, Pastor Race, and Pastor Lee. And we say, Shalom. Shalom. Stay blessed.
Man.